Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. It's match day. Boom. It's 5:55. Will be when kickoff is. It's Zorya Luhansk against Leicester City in the Europa League. As ever, we want your views, your comments. We are Leicester Fan TV. The clue is in the name. We want fans' views. We want fans' comments. Whatever you think about Leicester City today, you can let us know. We've got the team news. We've got fans joining us. Get your views in. It's match day live. We're doing the watch-along. Yes, good afternoon. It's time for Zorya Luhansk v Leicester City Live. And if this video is worth watching, it's worth watching just to see Jamie from the Fox's Arms in Alcudia pronounce their team name. So that is coming up very shortly. He's not getting out of it today. I'm going to make him pronounce it. But let's start with a few hellos. Let's start off with, come on you Foxes, says Jamie from the Fox's Arms. He's going to be joining us very shortly. George says on YouTube, this team and formation would have beat Fulham. Interesting views there. There are some great players coming back. Jason Mills, good evening to you. What do you reckon to the team, Jason? I'll get it up on screen very shortly. Good evening. Matty Bond is in the south of France today. That sounds very nice or very nice. Boom. First bad joke of the night. Ashley says, good evening. Looking forward to seeing Ricardo Pereira play. Ricky P, go on, my son, says Harvey. Good lad there. Zach, how are you, Zach? Out there in the States saying, glad to see Cags back. Overall, I'm not surprised at seeing Vardy staying at home since we already have the knockout round secured. I agree with you, Zach. Dave says, evening. All do give Ricardo, Cags and Wilf a full game. Yeah, three back from injury. Come on, you Foxes, says Ben. Fee, good evening, Fee. How are you? Watching on Facebook tonight, Fee, not on YouTube, but I hope you're well. What's your score predictions, Fee? Of course, we want to know what you think. My cat's name is Fifi, she says, if you didn't know that from the last game. Thanks, Fee. Craig, good evening. Jason is saying, job is done last week. Good to see fringe players returning. I like that. I think that's a bit tongue-in-cheek. Fringe players like Sayuncu, Ricardo Pereira, and then Diddy. Patrick saying we'll struggle to pronounce our subs. Well, let's get Jamie on from the Fox's Arms. Jamie, good afternoon.
Bonjour. Bonjour.
Very Del Boy.
Very Del Boy. Very Del Boy indeed. How the devil are we? Are we looking forward to it?
Yeah, I am. I am certainly looking forward to you pronouncing their team. So we'll come on to that in a minute.
It'll be fun, won't it? It'll be fun.
Let's start with the all-important Leicester City team, Jamie.
Right. Leicester City team. You've got Danny Ward in goal. It's his first game since the 25th of January, early in the season, when we played Brentford in the FA Cup, early this year, sorry. So that could be a bit of... He's played 3 games for Wales, or 3 or 4 games for Wales, but it's his first 90 minutes for Leicester since then, since the Brentford Cup game. Ricky P, of course. Justin, the 2 full-backs. We're going with a flat-back 4. Big Wes and Mr. Massive Sayuncu in the middle. Chowdhury and Wilf as, I think, 2 holding midfielders. DP, Dennis Pratt in the middle, with Nacho up top, and Under and Barnes as the 2 attacking wingers, attacking midfielders, however you want to put them in.
I mean, go on, Jamie. Go on.
I was going to say our bench is a bit on the young side today, shall we say? They're giving a bit of experience, so we might see a couple of the youngsters get a few minutes if we've got a decent score on the board.
We'll have a look at the bench in a little bit. Let's start with, obviously, you just said Danny Ward hasn't played for blooming ages, but he's not been injured. It's just Casper's been in good form. Ricardo Pereira hasn't played since roughly
the last game before lockdown against Villa when he won 4-0 and he got injured. He didn't get tackled, So he's not going to have that problem where some people get tackled and they get injured. He's not going to have that problem with his first tackle. He just, I don't know, I think he was just running and he got injured. So we'll have to wait and see on that, but he should be all right. I think somebody put on there that will Ricky P and who was the other one? And Cags play the full 90 minutes. I don't think they will. I don't think they will. Did he play in the cup game? I thought that was Schmeichel.
My memory is not great. Reese could be right.
Yeah, Reese, check that up for me for us. I thought he didn't, but I thought it was Schmeichel. It doesn't matter anyway. Check it up for us, Reese. If I'm wrong, then yeah, fair enough. I thought it was the Brentford one. I didn't realise that. Yeah, I don't think they'll play the full 90 minutes. Not straight off. Not straight off. 70, 80 minutes, yes, but not 90 minutes. Maybe probably Ricky P will only play 60 minutes.
I mean, obviously, they have to. It's a great game to get them a bit of fitness back. And Diddy sort of has been he's been in some great form, obviously, when he was fit. He's suffered with injuries in the past 12 months or so. And this time, he's rushed back a little bit, I think, the last time he came back. So he's been out a little while as well, Jamie.
So he could be playing at centre-half. Could be playing 3 centre-halves with Wilf there. That's where he was at the beginning. You never know, do you? Brendan likes playing these curveballs. Yeah. He did it with Amati against Man City. You never know. He might drop in Wilf and have a back 3 and wing back with Ricardo P and JJ there. You never know, do you? We'll have to wait and see on that.
Craig sort of agrees with you. He thinks 60 minutes. I would think 60 minutes is fair enough, isn't it?
I mean, Ricky P, I think because he had 70-odd minutes for the under-23s, didn't he? Sorry, I'm wrong. I thought it was... There you go. Danny Ward did play against Arsenal. I watched it as well. We lost 2-0. That's probably why I didn't really notice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Ricky P's already had 60 minutes. So I think he might play more, but I think Wilf and Kaz will only play 60, 65 minutes. But that depends on the score, though.
It's so we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, we're excited to see Sionku back as well and Ricardo Pereira. Jamie, both those two you would have thought were what we'd class as first teamers, Sionku and Ricardo Pereira.
Oh, yeah, full on. And Wilf. You didn't mention Wilf there. You only said 2.
Well, I'm going to chuck the ball up in the air there and say, relatively, I think Mendy and then Diddy, it'd be a debate over what would happen there. I think Fofana's had a lot of game time, and especially for a young lad, it's been great. But the last couple of games, I just wonder with Fofana if he needs, not necessarily a rest, but... rotation maybe with something in there, I think.
Well, I've been reading that he wasn't meant to be playing as many games as he did.
Yeah,
so whether they've had to throw him straight into it, and he's done well, and he's just showing a couple of mistakes now, isn't he? So might be a couple of games rest now. Sionku's back with Johnny Evans. I think it'll be Cags and Johnny Evans that play.
Could be.
Is the main two, and then Wes comes in. Little Wes comes in now and again when he needs to change the system.
Is this, Jamie, is this set up a little defensive?
If we're playing Chowdhury and Ndidi
and Dennis Pratt.
Yeah. Dennis Pratt's not the most creative of players, is he? He's a good lad to have in there, but he's not the most creative of players. So Chowdhury and Wilf, 2 central defensive midfielders? I don't know. See, yeah, I understand where Matthew's coming from with there. And what Reece is saying there as well. I wouldn't quite go as the best central, but he's pretty damn good, Reece. I'm not saying he's not, but he would be up there. He'd be in the top 5 in the Premier League, I would have thought, maybe the top 3. But yeah, it's going to be tough for Rodgers to drop Mendy at any time. So we'll have to wait and see.
It's interesting. Harvey Barnes has had a lot of game time, hasn't he, Jamie, this season? But he's still in there today again. Yeah,
he's young. He's a bit raw. He needs confidence. I think where Vardy can score things out of nothing, just like that. Barnes, I think, is one of the confident players, like Nacho. Nacho needs to have a couple of good games, score a few goals. I mean, he scored 5 goals so far this year, which he only scored 4. Like I said on Monday night show against Fulham, he scored 4 in 13 this year. Where last year he got 4 in 23. So now he's got 5 in 14. So his confidence is slowly coming on, but sometimes he just needs to use his head a bit more and get his shooting boots on. Barnes does. That would help. If he got his shooting boots on, then it would be a lot better player, I think.
Patrick says here, he says, is it wise to be playing players that have just returned from injury in cold temperatures? It's also a long journey. I guess it's a bit of a free hit in a way, isn't it, though, Jamie, tonight? Vaguely, you know, as free a hit as they come.
But you've got to play them. They'll be warmed up. I agree with Patrick what it says. Playing in cold weather, it must be Baltic over there. Did you see the training photos they had? They were wrapped up. They had the snoods on, the hats on, everything. All you could see was their eyes. They looked like they were going on a bank job or something. So you could see their eyes. But yeah, they've got to be warmed up properly, or else there's got to be a few more injuries. But you've got to play them sometime, and it's not going to be overly warm back in Sheffield on Sunday, is it? So whichever time they play them. But I agree with Patrick, though. They've got to be careful. So that's probably why they'll only get 60 minutes.
Yeah, it's cold up in Sheffield, put it that way, isn't it? Let's be honest. Right, before we've got fans clicking on the link, which is absolutely great, Jamie. So I'm going to add in J and R to start with. Let's add them in because I want them to hear you pronounce It's Jack and Ross. They're too young to know what you're on about, Jamie.
No, they do know. They do know.
They don't remember Dallas.
I've not watched the entire show. I was just on the phone just for a few minutes. So what were you on about?
Well, I was singing. Go on, Phil.
I was saying I brought you in because Jamie's going through the Zorya Luhansk team now. Take it away, Jamie.
I'll tell you what, Phil. If you put that graphic up, I can't even see it, pal. I can't see that, mate.
Your eyes are that bad?
Yeah, I'm only on my iPad, aren't I? So I can't see it. I cannot see it. Honest to God, I cannot see that.
I'll back it if you want.
Go on then, Ross.
Go on then. Ross has let you off the hook.
Bear in mind, I've got a bit of a bad eye, but I'll try it. So, right. Goalkeeper is Vasilj.
Yeah.
The right back is Favorov. I'll be a terrible announcer. You've got the centre backs of Ivan Senya. And you've got, well, this one's not bad. Abu Hanna at centre back. You've got the left back of Sijanks. You've got the midfielders of Nazarana. You've got Kotti Regin. And then you've got Yurchenko. That's the only one I can do. And you've got from Kabaev, Gladkey, and Gronov.
And Gronov, that sounds like a disease, that does.
Gronov. Yeah, it's not good. Well, that was probably easier to pronounce than last time you tried to do it, Jamie. Let's be honest. At least it was in English this time.
Well, yeah, just a bit.
Jack, what do you reckon to tonight's starting lineup for Leicester then?
Good. I'm glad to see Wilf back, Ricardo and Cags. So I think a 4-3-3 tonight. I think we'd be better attacking than the Fulham game, to be honest. I know this is not really Premier League standard team, but we've got to give it a go tonight and take it seriously.
I mean, Ross, what level do you think Zorya are now? We've seen a little bit of them. What level do you think they are?
Can we say Celtic? I mean, not very good.
They're as bad as that. I like that. That's very good, Ross.
Yes. Oh, I'll take that one. So I mean, I'm so happy Ricardo's back. I think every single Leicester City fan in the entire world is happy. The fact that Ricardo, arguably one of the best right backs in the Premier League, is back, because he don't get the recognition that he does. But I tell you, if it was at Man U or something, he'd be like, "Oh, best in the world." But because it's Leicester, no one cares. But I'm so happy he's back. Soyuncu was all of them. But the reason I'm so happy Ricardo's back, he's been out since March. You know, he's missed the entire restart. He played 58 minutes the other day in the under-23 match reserve game. So I'm so happy he's back, and I really hope. I
just saw the same comment.
What, this one?
No, the other one about the great knob.
Oh, great. But yeah, I do you know what? I predictions. I know Bolby is not here yet or anything like that. I think Ricardo could get a goal, tonight. What a perfect return. He's been out since March. And Ricardo, I've got a feeling he'll score. So I'm not saying Locke should put down out his bet, but I think Ricardo will score tonight. And I think we're going to win about 2-3. No, we need to bounce back from Fulham. We need one thing before we play Sheffield United on Sunday.
Jamie,
Sheffield, by the way, absolutely freezing.
It's a bit Baltic here.
Freezing my heart off.
Your chips and gravy will warm you up in a bit, Ross.
No, I had chicken tikka masala earlier, so
on chips, of course.
Yes, and beans as well. So yeah.
Beans.
Yes.
Jamie, before we degenerate into what you're own for tea, which seems to be the usual thing in these shows now, Jamie, right, so we've got a bit of a mixed up bench. You were going to tell us who is on the bench. There's no Perez, is there?
Yes, Perez is on the bench.
Is he?
Yeah, there's 12. There's 12 on the bench, yeah.
Again,
Do you want me to go through the bench?
Yes, yeah, go on then.
You've got Perez, Maddison, Albrighton, Papa Mendy, Luke Thomas, Kristen Fuchs, Little Wes, Fofana. You've got your Kogovic and Stolaris. He played against Blackburn in the pre-season game. He's about 18. You've also got Ben Nelson, who's a 16-year-old centre-back. If he makes his debut, he'll be the 5th youngest ever to play for Leicester. Shane Flynn, who's 19, an Irish lad, he's left-sided, and Leshan Bella, who's also another left-sided player that also played in the pre-season games as well.
Chris says here, what's number 51 for us, Jamie?
I don't know. I haven't got the numbers next to my name.
Squad numbers.
I just wrote the names down. Is it the keeper? I bet it's the keeper.
Sure. What's his
name?
Polish
keeper, Stolarovic or something like that.
I bet it is, because that's why he's asking you, isn't it? Yeah,
probably. Can we get rid of these two? These two reprobates. They've got to do something tonight.
They
rang us yesterday to say that because they've so they rang Jack as well as me because there's no Zoya fans in the UK.
What a surprise!
Yeah, I know, it's a massive shock. Worldwide. But no, they said when we get to last 32, depends who we play. You never know. We might get Real Madrid at this, right?
But can we still get rid of these two though, Phil? Just for 5 minutes. Come back on later.
CK is having. He's got a serious point here.
I'm worried. Great knob he's playing. Yeah, but it'll be all right because DP will be there to control it, so he'll be fine.
Dennis Pratt, that is, of course. Listen, we're losing the plot here a little bit. Nacho, let's talk a little bit about Nacho, Jack. He's got one of the best records in the Europa League this season so far with his assists and goals. He looks like he'll be playing up top. I think having Under and hopefully Barnes around him, that's quite an attacking threesome, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great threesome, yeah. Let's get serious. They're very good players. Under just needs a bit more game time. Kelechi, he's like a Jermaine Beckford, isn't it? He scores in the cup, so and then Barnes, he's got the pace to get in behind the Zoya defence, which obviously proved it the first time we played them. So yeah, it's a good front three, and Wilf to hold up the defence. So
yeah, absolutely. And Ross, do you like Under in the threesome?
Playing with them.
I don't know why this show, honestly, is going right down. Come on.
I think it'd be good, obviously, for Undertaker to have a crack. I think.
Let's pull it back, lads. Come on.
Come on, let's talk football now. Is there anybody else on, Phil, we can bring in instead of these?
Will do. Jay is waiting. Let's get your score predictions from Jay and Hart. Let's start with the Jay. Get your prediction in.
4-0.
4-0 to Leicester. Fair enough. Yep. Nice and easy. Ross?
I'm going to say 3-1, and I think Ricardo will get on the score sheet.
Brilliant, chaps. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys later. Always bringing the show down to your level. Thank you. Let them go. And I'm going to add Jay in now. Jay, thanks for waiting so much.
It's all right.
Good evening, Jay. How are you? Thanks for joining us again.
It's all right.
I think, Jay, are you confident about tonight? A lot of people seem super confident. We're going to win 2, 3, 4. You're very confident. Tell us why.
The team is brilliant. I think with Ricardo back and Cags is just a bonus in the defence. And I think Justin is looking to be very good. And Wes, who's a good leader in the back. And yeah, I think the defence is strong. And Didi as well in the midfield. Pratt and also Under, and who still has something to prove, and Barnes, who both quite quick, and Iheanacho, who's played absolutely fantastic with assists and goals in the Europa League. So I think that's why I'm so confident.
Jay, do you think? Go on, Jamie.
Go on.
Yeah.
I was going to say, do you think Under looks better in European football than he does in Premier League football at the minute?
I believe so.
His game's more suited for it, isn't it?
Yeah, we're seeing more of him in the Europa League as well than the Premier League.
Yeah, I think he just needs to get his fitness up a little bit for the Premier League, to be honest.
He needs to suit him.
Jay, do you think possibly that's a stronger looking Leicester lineup than we had against Fulham, maybe?
Defence, yes. Midfield, debatable, because obviously Yuri's brilliant with his creative side, and Maddison as well. And I think if we have Yuri and Ndidi in the same, and Maddison as well, then the midfield is stronger. And Cags and Evans, we've seen from last season, work absolutely brilliantly next to each other.
Chris says here, talking about Under in Europe, Jamie, he says there's more space. He's saying the Premier League have seen some defensive teams against us. Like when we're playing Fulham, it's hard to get him much space. There will be space for him today, you think, against Zorya?
Yeah, there seems to be like we showed against the West Ham, the Villa and the Fulham, the part of the bus, and we couldn't break them down, and there was no space for Under to get at them at all. So we'll have to wait and see. Just one thing, Jay, do you think we play better with Maddison or without Maddison? If you look at the fixtures this year and the games this year, do you think we play better with him or without him?
It's a tough one, because against City he was fantastic. Liverpool he was non-existent. Against Fulham he was greedy and just poor. So he's on and off. I think he's world class on his day, but when you see him against Liverpool and Fulham, he was poor.
Yeah.
Jay, before I let you go, because we've got Matty Bond waiting to come in the wings. Jay, what's your score prediction then? If you're that confident, go on, let's hear what you've got.
I'm going to say 4-1.
4-1. A lot of confidence tonight, Jay.
Confidence, yes. I'm not quite that confident, but we'll get my score. We'll get my score.
We'll get on to us.
Jay's a lot younger than us. He hasn't been supporting them that long. We know what's coming, don't we?
Thanks, Jay. We'll see you later, hopefully. Thanks for joining us again.
Cheers, Jay. Thank you, pal.
Thanks, Jay. Let's add in Matty. Matty Bond.
Good evening.
Bonjour, mon petit.
Bonjour, monsieur. Are we all right?
Good. I was going to ask you where you are in French, but forget that. It was a long time since I failed my O level in French.
Dead easy, mate. I'm near Bordeaux. You can pronounce that one.
Bordeaux. I can.
You bring a bit of red wine back with you.
Yeah.
Not the weather here, mate. It's absolutely pissing it down. And it's 2 degrees, and I'm literally on the seafront.
Oh, that's nice.
Are you with the horses again, Matty? Is that
just dropped him off, mate? Just dropped him off, and then I'm heading south tomorrow, the Spanish border, and then hopefully heading home after that. So fingers crossed.
Fantastic. Is it the King Power horses or is it other ones?
Not this time, no.
Not this time. No. Fine, brilliant. Well, Matty, I don't know if you've managed to see the team, but the big news is
I have,
Ricardo and Sanku back. What do you make of it? It's good news to get these lads back.
Yeah, it is. I mean, now we're qualified. It's a great chance to get the boys to have a few minutes in the legs, isn't it? You know. I mean, I know this competition is very different to the Premier League, but it'd be nice to get a comfortable result this evening to hopefully a bit of confidence again, because yes, it was very disappointing after the Fulham game, wasn't it? So you know, but now we have now got the A team back, as they say, and you know, Ndidi and Ricardo. Christ, I think let's pray, let's hope. Once we can get them installed and get them playing again in the first team for the Premier League, things will be different again, won't they? Hopefully.
Jamie, and then on to Matty. Steve's saying here we've got no real creative midfielders and we look a bit defensive. We did touch on that, didn't we, Jamie?
Yeah, we don't. Yes, I say it's going to be whether it's going to be Under and Barnes that are going to have to make the difference, doing the creative stuff on the wings and getting the balls to Nacho, and then Dennis Pratt just coming up behind. I honestly don't know because Wilf and Chowdhury are not the most creative players, so we might be lacking in that. But we've got Maddison on the bench and Perez on the bench if anything happens, or we need something to sparkle.
Do you think, Matty, the way we're playing is almost we've got a defence today, we've got midfield today, and we've got an attacking three?
Probably, yeah. I think you're right there. I mean,
rather than sometimes we play where these players are bombing up and down a little bit, and it feels like, well, is he defending? Is he attacking? It feels like
exactly. I think some of the games we have played, players sometimes look a little bit out of position almost. And today probably is a little bit more, like you say, sort of almost more functional roles, if you know what I mean. So let's see how we go. But obviously, obviously we're qualified, so it isn't our first setup that we'd want. But let's see tonight.
The first thing is do not lose. That's the first thing. Do not lose.
Exactly.
If you can't win, don't lose.
Adam's saying where's Castagna? He's just not quite ready yet, is he?
He's not quite ready, Adam. He's still got a dodgy fetlock, so we're not going to risk him just yet.
Keep him for potentially maybe a subs role on Sheffield United at the weekend. You got to again. Somebody just put in there. CK watching on YouTube said we should be fine tonight, but I'm worried about the returning players. If any of them go down, I'll be freaking out.
Oh.
It is one of those where we'll be watching Sionku and Ricardo Pereira, sort of a bit like this, won't we, Matty?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, all we want, as everybody does, is them back, isn't it? Them back. Today, get some minutes in the legs, get them fit, get them back in the Premier League, because that's where that's what we're really lacking at the moment, isn't it? We've been saying for weeks is these guys back in the Premier League, which has to be our number one for the season, doesn't it?
Our priority.
Priority, that's what I was looking for, Jamie. Thank you.
You're in France too much. You're losing the words in your head, aren't you?
Matty, go on then. Before we got hopefully Tom and Locks ready to take over for the watch along, what's your score prediction tonight?
2-1. I'm going for 2-1 to Leicester.
2-1 to Leicester. Thanks, Matty. Thanks for joining us. Go on.
And I'd like to see Harvey Barnes come on and score a screecher because he's potentially top class. He's starting.
Yes.
Sorry.
But you said you've seen the team.
Well, briefly.
He's had too much Bordeaux already.
Yeah.
But any confidence he can get is going to be good because he's potentially top class, isn't he?
Yeah, I think that's it. Every goal, like Jamie's saying, for Harvey Barnes just adds to that. He can do it. He can do it.
Yeah.
That's great. Thanks, Matty.
Thanks for having me on.
Enjoy the night. We'll see you later.
Bye. Cheers, lads.
See you later,
Cheers.
Matt.
Thanks, Matty.
Bye, thanks.
Great to get Jay on, Matty on, JR. Let's add Locks in. He's joined us. And then just as Locks joins us, who's going to take over for the watch along, P.S. Where's Tom? Jamie.
On his way. Yes.
Yeah. You and me, we've seen it all before, been there and done it. So we're a bit more cynical tonight. I'm a little bit worried tonight because I want us to put we weren't great against Liverpool. I don't want to sound too negative, but we really weren't great against them. We weren't that great against Braga last week, if I'm honest. We pulled that one out of the bag. We were poor against Fulham. That's 3, which I wasn't wowing by. Zorya, they did go and win away at AEK Athens. And, it's very easy to go into tonight's game thinking, 3, 4, 5-0. It's not the nicest place to go in the world.
No, it isn't.
It's a long way. It's cold.
Just before I go, I'm going for the old Desmond, the old 2-2 tonight.
What a surprise.
Every away game, I go for 2-2.
Yeah.
Do not lose. Do not lose.
There's attacking things in there, but again, hopefully at half time, we'll all be back here saying, well, easy peasy lemon squeezy, but we'll see. Are you off, Jamie?
Yes, I'm going off. So I'm going to get BT Sports set up and running. So I'll see you later on, lads. Have a good show, Locks. Speak to you later.
See you, Jamie. See you later. Thanks, Jamie, for joining us pre-match, as well as Matty and everybody else who is there. Welcome to Locks. Locks is doing the watch along. I'll be back at half time and, of course, full time to get all the fans' views in. Locks, what do you reckon for tonight?
Yeah, mate. I mean, obviously, you know, we've qualified for the group. We've qualified for the next round, which is the main thing. I mean, that's why obviously he's left Vardy, Schmeichel, Evans. Was there another one he left at home other than that?
There was 3 or 4, wasn't there?
Yeah. Maybe Albrighton. I don't know. Oh no, Albrighton's
Casper.
Yeah. So obviously we've qualified for the group. I saw a tweet earlier on, and I really agree that actually it's that tonight we want to get through the game with these returning players, you know, kind of in one piece. You know, it's great. It's great to see them back on the pitch. It's really exciting to see Ricardo, especially, back. So yeah, it's going to be a good game. It has just kicked off, so hopefully we can get the win. You know, I think this team should be beating Luhansk. You know, whether it's, you know, there's a few players in there which are normally, you know, squad players or bench players. You know, I think we should be winning this game. So fingers crossed we can, and yeah, we'll have to see.
I think so indeed, and we're waiting for Tom to join us, aren't we?
Yeah, it's all right. He said he'll be a few minutes, so
that's fine.
Oh, here he is. There we go. I think he's in. There we go.
Let's get Tom in. Tom, I've been stalling them and filling the gap. You're in. You're back from work. You're wet and ready. Looking forward to it.
Ready.
Wet and ready.
Ready.
See you later.
See you later.
Cheers, mate. There we go, Tom. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you're fine, mate. You're right.
Yes, very good. Thank you.
Everyone else.
Yeah,
Thursday night rush
good.
as usual, eh? Thursday night rush is 6 o'clock kick-off. Don't do us any